This channel does not promote or encourage any illegal activities. All contents provided by this channel is meant for educational purpose only.
Let's have a little bit of this. I got a big Bob Marley joint. Look at this. Here, try this.
Carl, I really don't do this very often.
You're gonna love this. Is dynamite hack. Watch out for this.
Maybe one drag on it.
Say you're in a Caribbean bungalow and you're kind of high. An exotic woman on the bed.
It's a little harsh.
Now, is she just the high-priced whore you asked for? Or is she an assassin?
Here. Cannonball. Right back.
Here's room service. Who ordered champagne?
How should I know?
Exactly. You're baked. You can't remember.
And then one more. He's right on top of Cannonball. Cannonball coming.
Point is, you come out of the John waving this around, nobody's gonna bug you for a tip.
Stella, do you want to come up? Here, come up over here. Come on. Here, come to this way. Come on. The people want to see you, baby. Come on. Big jump. You got it, girl. Big jump. You got it. Yes, you got it. Come on. You got it. Yes, there it is. You know you can do it. You do it every day. Come on. You got it. Big jump. Come on. Yeah. Hell yeah. All right. 2 days in a row on the Adidas jackets, huh? I know. The problem with this motherfucking jacket is I do like it, but once somebody said, they're like, is that your in and out uniform? And then McDonald's is like, now I can't fucking unsee it. But fuck it. I like this jacket. Can you guys, is my audio okay? I think I figured out without headphones, I figured out the echo issue. Now, if I have echo issues, I'll put headphones in. I got headphones at the ready if need be. And if that doesn't work, I'm just going to cut it. It is too annoying for the fucking echo. Oh, hey, sorry, dude. I didn't tell you. I didn't let Hippie know I was going to do this. We got the Blues game at 4:00. So I just kind of wanted to jump on. And truthfully, I don't always know, this is not a deep conversation. I'm not calling anybody stolen valor. I'm not doing any of this shit. I just want to show this. I thought this was interesting because it's two different creators, actually two creators that fucking severely dislike each other in the vet bro space. This Nicky TV guy, this Navy dude, and Valhalla VFT, the SF, the first group dude, the team guy from first group. The SF guy, who's gone, who's I don't know what the fuck he's doing, but he's doing a show tonight, apparently, that is asking if Charlie Kirk's wife was born a man. He really hits to the Candace thing, and hey Todd, Valhalla VFT did the pivot to the Candace thing, and he says, as crazy as shit as you do, he packages it a little bit better, but there you go, Todd. There's your template. And Valhalla VFT is fucking huge. Well, thank you, Britt Bayach, as not my former ex-wife, or former ex-wife, or ex-wife. You can say that. All right. So I do have a hard out. So let's roll on this. So the first one is, now what's also kind of interesting is, the way that these guys are calling these dudes stolen valor and what they're calling them stolen valor for, to tie it back to what we look at just through the years, right? GS loves to say loves to say that we called them stolen valor and demanded his DD-214. First of all, it didn't happen that way, but also vets. I want to show this to show you how larger vets operate. If you know, if Finkel and if two old vet doofuses, Finkel and Toddster, want to say whatever, who cares, man? Who really cares? But I want to show you that anytime you're a vet and you make claims and people start calling you on it, and by the way, if you're on the internet putting yourself out there and like Todd constantly demanding people to thank you for your service, people are going to ask you about your military. All right, so these are a little bit longer. We're not going to watch the whole thing, but I didn't cut it up yet.
Circumstances, that would be a bad, rude thing to ask, but
can you guys hear it? Can you guys hear that okay? And let me know if there is an echo, because I'm not hearing any echo, and I think I got it.
It appears this person has essentially fooled everybody. Now, let me introduce you to this person, because essentially they just popped off and they have over 2 million followers. It turns out they've lied about their military service. This is Malibu Fit Max. His full name is actually Lee Markham, and I correct that.
Holy dog shit. Holy dog shit. First of all, Wild Bill, fucking glad to see you around as always. Oh, that reminds me. Fucking smoky, everybody. Got the Norm, the coffee, and the fucking joint. Let's do it at 2:20 in the afternoon. Okay. But Wild Bill, did anybody here watch the fucking Dabbleverse last night? Because holy shit. I really, really kind of want to talk about that with you guys, but that's going to take there was a fucking incredible amount. Stuttering John did a quote unquote comedy show. Anthony Cumia was there. It was utter fucking mayhem and well worth it. It was pretty fucking, if you like the Dabbleverse shit. Did you fucking, holy shit, man. I can't wait to talk about it. That's why I was saving this one. Hippie, part of the thing too, I was like, I don't know if Hippie really wants to talk about this. So, but the Dabbleverse shit, god damn, we'll cover that on our next one. Oh, dude, it was incredible. It was utter mayhem. The comedy club, Rodney's, didn't know what the fuck to do. Anthony Cumia fucking slapped a motherfucker. John threatened multiple people. Oh my God. Do yourselves a favor. People are clipping the fuck out of it. Go watch the Bedabbler, or just type in Tukey. They did a 4-hour show on it this morning. They covered it from all different angles, had a bunch of different players. Very funny. I watched it from Shuley Network and bouncing around. But it was great. No, I saw that he did it. How do you? Okay, well, I swear to God, we're gonna get to the fucking video, but how in the fuck do you play mad? How are you 56 years old? You complain about black people being on welfare, and that Jews are ruining us. You play Magic the Gathering all fucking day on your computer, and then you gather with ones of dorks, other fucking dorks, not nerds, dorks, to go play Magic in your real life on a Friday night instead of spending it with your beloved. Oh my God. By the way, Pico, he's Italian. His name is Rocco Burrow. That's his real name. I know a Guido. I know a guy. I know a guy. I know a Tukey. I'll call him Jimmy the Took. Okay, let's play the fucking video.
That says he has 1.1 million for making this video. Now, Lee has pretty much fooled everybody, including the veteran community, because essentially this is how it all started.
A lot of people get their tempo wrong. They really focus on the concentric part, the pushing really hard. The negative part, where it's the resistance train, we're coming down real fast. Letting gravity do all the work. You're not resisting anything. Don't leave those gains on the table. 1, 2, you're matching concentric with the eccentric. You want 1 second concentric, 2 seconds eccentric. So
they mentioned his face. Okay, I'm gonna skip ahead and whatever. So this guy claims, people were like, "What the fuck is wrong with you?" or whatever, and he was like, "I was in the army and I took a IED to the face in Afghanistan." Oh, and guess you're not going to believe this. He was an MP, or at least he went with an MP unit. I swear to God, all these dudes try and steal Jeff's story. It's the most wild shit I've ever seen. I seriously, I in no way do I think this dude is aware of Jeff or Jeff's story or anything. It is just really fucking funny. All these dudes are MPs in Afghanistan getting blown up. Oh, it's fucking hilarious. What's up, Bernsey? All right, so that's where I'm gonna skip ahead a little bit.
Of those comments were, and with his face.
So he said he puts it in his thing. Survivor of IED to the face. Combat veteran, right? Survivor of IED to the face. Okay, so I'm gonna skip ahead a little bit because they just talk about
combat. He seems like
people have deleted their post about Lee because there's been new information that surfaced. And essentially, I was like, oh, what's going on? And that's because I saw this from Carry the Fire over on X. And they said, if you served with Lee Markham, a.k.a. Malibu Fit Max in the U.S. Army, please DM me, especially if you deployed with him or 293 MPs to Afghanistan. Now, there were other people that were on social media asking for his DD-214 as well, and crickets. Didn't see anything. And
did you guys catch that? There were other people that were asking for his DD-214 as well, right? My point is nothing that, it's fun. I don't really, who gives a shit? But Todd, ultimately, it's fun to laugh at. But I do just want to show people, because I know that some in this auditor community like to paint me as this guy who's like, well, he just fucking goes around demanding people's fucking DD-214. It's what the fuck we all do. It's what the fuck we all do. If there's no other way, right? Whatever reason they doubted this weightlifter guy. I'll get to the rest in a second. What is the other way? You go to the guy and you say, hey, what can you clarify this shit? Depending on what he says, I don't know. Some people are just like Jeff. I was like, okay, I get it. You don't need to send me any more paperwork. I wasn't even asking for it. But some people do it that way. Some people, whatever. So the way you have is like, okay, well, we'll get your DD-214. Which, by the way, literally anybody you can FOIA mine right now. You can go do it. It's totally legal. There's no backdoor fucking shit. There's no Master Sergeant retired, know somebody in the CIA, kind of gay ass dumb shit like that. It's just FOIA request. You just go to the fucking website. Now, sometimes you got to finagle it and what they give you and what they don't give you, yes. And Master Sergeant retired has experience requesting these records for 11 years, some shit like that. So yes, it can take a little bit of finessing, but it's really anybody can do it. Look at fucking Hanky coming in from the goddamn Australian.
Oi, look at me. Look at me. You know what this is? Two bloody legends staring at each other. Fucking oath, mate.
Hell yeah. Also, but for your comment,
I bet you navigate these nuts, motherfucker.
That was my first. It's a jacket. All right.
I'm going to tell you right now, in the social media space fitness space, if somebody gets a bad feeling, a bad sense of anything, these communities sense out very quickly if someone has a BS whatever going on and the BS meter is going off. I'm going to tell you, anytime I make a video about somebody, I hear about it pretty quickly. So I wanted to make a video about him at one point.
Oh, by the way, Hippie, if you want to jump on, obviously just jump on. Obviously just jump on.
Because like, man, people are making fun of this combat veteran. But I was like, you know what? That's it. I don't want to bring any more suffering or negativity to Lee's life. Now, that is really weird because apparently people started questioning if Lee was lying about having an IED to the face at all. Now, that one person I will say that has done a phenomenal job researching all of this is this person I've linked up with previously, where even my research into military topics
I say
was
eat
just
a
put
dick
to crap.
and continue to enjoy your dick eating experience.
Uh-oh, I heard echo on that one. You guys know echo, right? You guys are not hearing echo on the video? I heard echo on and whatever. If it's on a drop, what the fuck ever, who cares? Also, if this Nikki guy, all somebody did was, by the way, I'm going to show it. All they did is exactly the very first thing that Master Sergeant Retired does. And he goes to the Servicemen Civil Relief Act.gov. It's a database that anybody can join, anybody can use. You put in the person's information and the date and the date range or whatever, and it'll come up. It's not, it all it tells you is, yes, the person was Army, blah, blah, blah. Fucking bugster. God damn it. I had something.
It's going to get hotter. Cracker.
Actually, I was going to do
What are you going to do?
The fuck you going to do? All right. So yeah, I just wanted to show that more than anything, because I don't care about this fucking steroid dude on TikTok or anything. I'm not saying anything. Both these two videos that I'm about to show came out like within days ago. So they're brand new and they're big channels covering it. And so I just wanted to show people, and you know, whatever. I'm not trying to collect Todd's marbles. I don't care if he gets a huge fucking audience and $1 million. But this is what we all do. This is why Todd shit sounds suspect. And by the way, nothing that we did was out of bounds. It just FOIA shit. That's it.
Because they even got their DD-214, and I was like, wow, there's a lot going on. That person is Goob_U2. His full name is John Dorsey. But essentially what he does is a lot of expose on the BS that goes on the fitness community here. Now, sometimes, and a lot of times, I'll be honest with you, me and him have covered similar topics because somehow the vet bro space and veterans go to fitness when they leave because that's kind of a natural transition as they still want to be physically fit. Now, he kind of questions this in an 8-minute video. I won't play all of it, but the highlights here, check this out.
Guys, this is a very serious video with questions that I have for this guy, Malibu FitMax. If you don't know who Malibu FitMax is, he's very recently, like in the last month, just popped into the fitness stratosphere. Millions of followers, millions of views on all his videos. And a question was posed to me about 2 weeks ago where they sent me his profile and they said, hey, this guy, Malibu FitMax, used to have IED survivor in his bio. He very recently removed it. Do you know why, John? And if you look at his current bio, it says combat vet, but it doesn't mention the IED survivor. But this screenshot I have from his prior profile says survivor of IED to the face right there, which has been removed.
Before we even move forward.
Wait, is Richard in here? Hey, man. I'm not seeing him. Is Richard in here? Dude, I hope your family's okay, man. I hope your family's okay. Oh, there he is. Oh, okay. Dude, I was thinking about you, man. I was thinking about you and your family today. I was. Good vibes to Richard's family. Very good vibes. Good vibes, man.
For anybody to put that in their bio, the shock factor And to get to 1.1 million and nobody really kind of questioned it other than having duck lips and looking like you're a plastic Ken Barbie doll trying to wannabe in 2026 is kind of wild. But he does more digging on this and it goes pretty bad for Lee here.
A few pieces of clarifying information. Malibu FitMax himself says that he was in the 293rd Military Police CO. He says that in this comment right here. And Malibu himself has multiple times said he survived an IED to the face, used to have it in his bio and has since removed it. Malibu told a news reporter that in 2010 is when this happened. He was discharged from the military in 2010 after an IED blew up in his face in Afghanistan. That's what he said, 2010. I also need to show you what Malibu was doing in 2010. Hold on. In June 17th of 2010, date right here, he competed in this bodybuilding show. Assuming that this is the same Lee Markham, he placed third in the lightweight category. In October of 2010, here's him at a speaking engagement that his father posted on his father's YouTube channel. We know this is him because one, well, it looks just like him, and two, he commented 15 years ago, first, from the username Malibu Markham. Lee Markham is his real name. I want you to listen to some of the content that he said during this lecture.
Dude, he's not that old. Also, I'm still a student.
Okay, it's really not needed, I don't think, to hear what this guy says. It's a little hard to hear anyway. It's just him saying, I was in combat in the Army.
I actually graduated this semester from university.
I mean, there's other things of him that don't line up. And what they're saying is, Nikki's focusing on the military part of it, claiming he got an IED to the face. But there's also like his degree and all of this shit. Like his timeline is fucked up. Like it's just like how the timeline fucked up like Welsh News Net. It always fucks these dudes up. You guys remember how Welsh News Network lied about his Navy fucking shit? Remember?
So in 2010, he competed in a bodybuilding show in July, did a speaking arrangement in October, graduated from the University of Maryland, and at some other point in 2010 survived an IED to the face while in Afghanistan. Now, he does mention his service during this clip. Let me show you.
After my 5-year application to the U.S. Army in Afghanistan, it was quite literal. I was surrounded by evil. There's death, rape, famine, murder, just destruction everywhere. And I thought, I need to get out of this. I can die right here. And
Now, in this 15-minute lecture, he does mention his service. He does not mention an IED or anything to that effect. This is filmed in 2010 October, which should be the year that he has said himself that he took an IED to the face on his deployment. Now, I'm just presenting facts, guys. Another fact that we talked about in the beginning of this video. He said he's from the 293rd MPCO. If you Google any of these, I can Google the 293rd MPCO, you will see.
All right, I'm going to save some time. In any of the articles, they did have some casualties. I think like 2 dead and 3 or 4 wounded. I don't remember the exact number, but the point is the dude's not listed. He's going to go through some stuff.
During that time, from what is shown from service, I'm
spoken to several members that were in the 293rd Military Police Company.
So while, yes, he was active duty during that time from what is shown from service, I'm still sitting here like, were you in country? Were you in Afghanistan? You could be active duty and still doing all of the bodybuilding shows, all of this, like, college work or whatever else, or just gotten out, or even done schoolwork while you were active duty, even and retired from like University of Maryland Global Campus or whatever that college is that essentially a lot of military people use. But it does appear that Goob here has actually asked several people about people that were wounded in that unit. And listen here.
None of them remember Lee Markham. I showed them photos. They were aware of who he was on social media, but they did not remember serving with this guy. And none of them remembered him getting injured. And now in one of the phone calls, a FaceTime that I had with somebody that was in the 293rd and had deployed on that deployment, when I asked about people that were injured, he immediately rattled off all 4 names, the injuries and days that they were injured, to crazy detail. And I said, how do you know? How are you so specific about this? And he told me when somebody gets hurt, it's a big deal. They offer I guess, mental health counseling to them the day after. There's a whole thing. They make a big to-do of it. And when they get
names and ranks and stuff on it, to wear those, especially to remember those people. I don't think many people that deployed, especially during this era where that was a prominent thing, would forget it, because most people will wear those for years upon years to remember their friends. So I'm like, those dates, not many people are dealing with loss during deployment to that degree during this time frame. This isn't World War II, but still, you're going to remember if 4 people had massive wounds from IEDs or some kind of situation like that.
So I guess that just goes as far to say that it would be very difficult for Lee to have been injured on that battalion and that guy and the others not know about it. So this just leaves a lot of like questions, right? Now I have Lee's number, and I had recently spoken to him and helped him with the situation he was having with his photographer. So I decided I would just text him, because if I were him, and I've noticed a lot of accounts are starting to post about him and question whether or not what he said was true. And I texted, and if I had the truth, I would be happy to speak to me and say, hey, John, here's all the information. And I would scream it from the top of my lungs. I'm going to show you the text messages between me and Lee that occurred earlier today. I had tried calling him. He said, still eating. What's up? I said, hey, I had someone send me a question about your service. Told them I asked you directly, what's the story on that? When exactly were you wounded and on what deployment? I told them I'd get answers and send it back. I wasn't aware that was something.
Do you know who else claimed that they were wounded in combat? Audrey Sloan, the dude who doxes frauditors. Yep.
That he went through, but they said that it used to be in your bio. He replied, we are filming a documentary to be released next month. All this stress from stuff is making it worse now. Back on the meds just to sleep. He then said, every day should be fun, and now I'm filled with anxiety and depression all over again, but I keep it up.
Actually, I think today, Woodrow, no, I don't think she's not pouting today, because we went out, we did Frisbee. I got a short. I need to put up a short. Yeah, we had a whole morning like adventures. I felt bad because I had to cancel. My dad had to cancel the walk yesterday, so we didn't really get out, just to walk around the block. So anyway, I think today, because she's been sitting here by me, so she just doesn't like the smoke. But I got the fan blowing so it doesn't hit her, so she can hang out. She's not pouting today. Ah, look at this. The median age of the chat just tripled.
Shut up and sit down, you big bald fuck.
Dude, I'm loving it, brah.
Jesus. All right, let's go back.
I didn't think that was actually answering my question at all. I asked very specific things. So I said, between me and you, can you tell me? I looked into it briefly and found a video of you speaking at a church from around that time period. So I figured I'd reach out and ask from the man himself. He replied, appreciate it, bro, but I'm struggling already. Thank you for what you did for me, referring to the photographer. In good time, everyone will see the doc. Every night is a struggle to sleep again, and it's so overwhelming dealing with my last videographer, and now I'm down to hardly any content. I'm a positive guy, but damn, it's getting difficult. To which I replied, if I were you, I'd be screaming my truth to the top of my lungs to anyone that would listen, especially someone like me. I could give it great coverage. Is there any reason you don't want to tell me anything? And yeah, he just thumbs up my thing and started talking about the photographer again and didn't interact with it at all. He didn't even answer my question, just said thank you again for the photographer help.
And you can tell he dismissed it. It wasn't even like, hey, like, what's your question? Like, if you served in the military, people usually, they're like, yeah, I'm not going to talk about the scary things, the stuff that was maybe bad, maybe specifics of a bad day if I dealt with that explosion to the face. He didn't even go to that side of it. He was just like, I just want to know some basics about your service. And he was
So I'm going to fast forward again a little bit here, but this is a guy who just, so right now, I think in the beginning of this, they probably thought he wasn't in. I'll give you a little hint. The guy was in the military. The guy was in the military. Spoilers ahead. But think about how, and again, how Nikki here, this dude's he's got 191K subs. This came out 2 hours ago. He's got 4,100 views on it. Point is, it's not a small, right? And so all of this, that's all they're going off of. and then everybody's blowing the fuck up. Do you see what I'm saying? I don't. I got some fucking good ass fucking weed again. But so I'm hoping that makes sense. But like on what I mean by how it ties back to us, back to how all vets view this shit. You know, I mean, some are smart, not me, and they don't fucking just ram their head into the fucking closest target when they're whacked out of their mind on fucking alcohol and speed. Jesus. It's better to be like, well, hold on, let's just see, let's wait, kind of see. I it's good for that. But this is how we all view it. This is how we all view it. Todd, like, and again, this isn't, who gives a fuck about Todd, but odds of the world, Kaisers of the world, the Andrea Sloans of the world, the K-Fats of the world, right? They're all like, these guys just think everybody's fucking stolen valor. And what this messaging that Todd's trying to do, like I was trying to catch lightning in a bottle with Kaiser. What? Anyway, look, I'm just trying to point out that when these guys say that stuff, it's ridiculous. It's literally how all of us, from a fucking dork ass Navy dude like Nikki to a fucking SF team dude in Valhalla, to me, hippie, whoever. We all see
it like, nope. Not even gonna tell you dates. Don't want to.
I mean, we all see the information the same way, is what I'm saying. Like it sends off alarms the way certain people say certain shit. Like I know we've been parsing this around, but when you say I'm a combat disabled vet, right? I'm not going to hammer this home. We know it. Todd positioned himself that way, and why that's important. I've also never heard anybody with a Purple Heart refer to themselves that way. I haven't. It's weird. It's weird. So what I'm saying is it just looks weird to us and starts sending off fucking, spidey sense tingling. Hey, what's up, man?
Be locked down because this is what he's known for. And if you have Goob coming after you in a personal text message asking this, you should probably be like, ooh, I need to step away from social media for a bit.
I love the fuck out of cookies.
The only reason we're talking about this is because it's something that you said that happened to you, that was in your bio, that the people find kind of interesting. And some of the details don't make a ton of sense, and that's not our fault at all. And you have a page that millions of people are looking at now, so you should just address it. I hope we're wrong. I hope that this is all just one huge misunderstanding and one huge coincidence, or something's wrong. I looked, I could find, every record of the 293rd. Every single time there's somewhere, the only one that would make sense is the 2009-2010 one. Your name is not on that very short list of 4 people that got injured in that deployment. So what is what happened? Like, you could explain it in a text message, and I gave you that opportunity to. So like, I have to address you here. I would have rather you just texted me, but here we are. So what is the truth? Hopefully we're wrong. Hopefully this is just one giant misunderstanding, and there's a reasonable explanation to it and all that, but it doesn't look great, and you should be concerned because it's your image and you're a public figure now, bro. Like,
also, I really want to point this out, because this case comes closer to home to Audrey Sloan. Audrey Sloan, I've called them Andrea Sloan for so long, I forget. Is it Audrey Sloan? The dude who claims he's retired NYPD and retired DCPD and medically retired from the Navy and wounded in Iraq. He makes these claims, and then people are like, whoa, buddy, those are some big claims there. Can you prove it? No. Called me a terrorist. Said I don't give information to terrorists. I know some terrorists that probably agree with you, but they wouldn't say I was one of them. Andre. Sorry, thanks. Thank you. Yeah. I'm a fashion terrorist, motherfuckers.
Welcome to the show.
Yeah.
But this is what I'm saying. And again, and then that guy's what if just pretend this instead of this weird looking fucking steroid guy, imagine if it was a fucking anti-auditor. Imagine if it was Andrea Sloan and he was like, hey, I don't have to show you shit. Oh, really? Because you make public claims about this shit. And guess who that guy ran to for cover? When actual combat vets, when it doesn't even matter, he could be anybody and you call him out. People start calling him out. Who did he run to? He ran to KFAT. Why did he run to KFAT? Why is that?
And this is what's important is because people grift and use things like, I have an IED to the face. Yes, I have whatever. Where like we have to understand the fitness community, while they're talking about this specifically because his face of being like, hey, you've got lip filler injections, it looks like to some degree, you have some kind of disfiguration, which I mean, it wasn't like he was the best looking dude to begin with anyway, but you sit there and you add like testosterone replacement, you add other things that can disfigure somebody's face to make it look different. Essentially, like they're like, what's the deal with you? And to get a written off excuse that you have a weird face, not from TRT, but because of a combat injury, is where people are pissed off about this. But this is not where that story ends. That's because Goob got his hands on the DD-214. So, I mean, we already know where this is going. It's just sad that we've platformed somebody that's gone up as a veteran to essentially lie to the entire public. Check out what Goob shows us in this video.
Yesterday, I posted a very long video about Malibu FitMax, aka Lee Markham. I posed a question to him. Hey, Lee, you've marketed yourself as somebody that has survived an IED blast to the face on a deployment in Afghanistan. Is that true? My video was 8 minutes long and gave tons of reasons as to why it most likely isn't true, but at the time that I recorded the video, I did not have his DD-214 and I did not have his medical records from when he was overseas. Now I have them, and I'm going to show you guys them, and we're going to talk about what actually happened to Malibu FitMax's face.
Oh, shit. He's going to show his DD-214. He redacted one. He redacted the dude's address. He literally didn't redact anything else. Again, the point I'm trying to make is when these dudes say that it's me, that I'm trying to get famous off of this, or Master Sergeant fucking retarded. No offense. Or top. Or whatever, hippie, whatever, F3, just, you know, the F3. No, it's not. Not everybody has a fucking dude who can't stop running his mouth, a doofus like me running their channel. Like, fucking, I'm just gonna say shit. But again, I got another one too to back another example. But I do want to. Here, we'll show.
I'll save you time and scrolling. It was not an IED. Let's cut right to the chase. This is his DD-214. It shows that he was deployed to Afghanistan 2009, July 31st to 2010, July. In his decorations, medals, and badges, right up here, it does not mention a Purple Heart. He has a lot of general awards and medals here, but he does not have a Purple Heart, which is something that you would expect to see there if he were wounded in combat and took an IED to face. It says that his assignment was 293rd Military Police Company. We know this belongs to Lee Markham because it says his name right here, Lee Peter Markham. I blocked his address out, but the address matches the one in his background check. So here's his DD-214. He was overseas.
I mean, that's his social birthday. Oh, goddamn 9 on this dude. I know. Actually, I threw it on and I started this and I was like, oh shit, I also wore a fucking an Adidas one yesterday. It's always MPs. Always fucking MPs, man. Nobody's ever like, I was PSYOP.
But it doesn't mention an injury. It doesn't mention an IED. But what do his medical records say? Well, here it is, guys. Here's the medical record from the incident that Lee Markham is characterized as an IED to the face. Let me read. The patient is a 26-year-old male. Source of patient information was patient. 26 male complaining of chipped front tooth, lip, and forehead laceration from fall. A friend reports that patient was drinking and fell near Camp Cournier, his barracks. He did lose consciousness after falling. Name at the bottom, Lee Peter Markham. So, ladies and gentlemen, when Malibu Fitmax says that he sustained an IED blast to the face, like he said right here, I survived an IED to the face while serving overseas, and it used to say right here in his bio, survivor of IED to the face, don't try that at home, folks. It was just a big misunderstanding. What he meant to say was he got really drunk while stationed in Korea in 2006 and fell down before his deployment ever happened and fucked his face up. See, this is 13th November 2006. That's 626 KST. He's in Korea when this happened. He is not in Afghanistan. He is not on a deployment, and he just got wasted and fell down. That's the IED. Way to fucking go, Malibu Fitmax. You played with fire, leveraged a bold-faced lie to get a humongous following, and never thought anything would happen. Well, sir, people were there with you. People talk, and there are people out there like me that look into this shit because, well, why build your entire reputation on a lie?
So it's factual. He was wow, your name is not even on the list for Purple Hearts or in the records. And I'm like, you've sadly put a shit stain on your service for clout?
Shit stain.
All of this to say you got drunk and you fell and you hit your mouth? This is insane. Like, I've never seen a veteran.
So the end of the day, he was Army. And I guess an MP, but he was in Korea, got drunk, fell, chipped a tooth, basically fucked himself up, and didn't go to Afghanistan. So no blast at IED.
Exaggerate the story to this. This is like worse than allegations of Tim Kennedy embellishment or whatever else. This is beyond that. And somehow people are not giving him anywhere near that level. And he even has.
Is it? I mean, it's bad. It ain't good. It ain't okay. That's for goddamn sure, right? I don't know. Tim Kennedy's to me seem more egregious because also this dude is some random TikTok fitness guy. True. Well, also apparently he's like on, fucking testosterone and a bunch of other shit.
There's more followers than Tim Kennedy. And this has left a lot of people very pissed off about this from the veteran community, rightfully so. And by the way, he just let down everybody in that unit for all the hard work they did, for all the people that were injured. He took the credibility away from those people that truly suffered loss, that truly had to deal with the ramifications of possible enemy exposure, IEDs, whatever else. And I know being an MP, military police, is not the most glorious thing that you could ever do in the military. And you're not.
But goddamn, if everybody doesn't fucking claim they're an MP. Well, I literally don't get it. I'm not shitting on the MP job. You can actually do a lot of fucking cool. You can get into some specialized shit as an MP. But like, Master Retired thinks it's the cop. He's like, well, it's like cop, but it's like they want to be a cop. They want to be in that world, and to them, and it's not like, and there's more MPs than say SF dudes, right? So if you start claiming you're an SF guy, you kind of get on people's radar, and people can check you out. You're an MP, and you just kind of randomly said, "Well, I was an MP with fucking 313th Red Wagon Battalion." I'd be like, okay, cool. I don't mean to shit. Again, I'm not shitting on that MOS or that job. I just mean I'd be like, okay, hey, I'm good to go, man. I don't know. You could literally tell me any MP unit, and I'd be like, okay, good to go. Maybe that's why did I just answer my own question? I was a great analyst.
Maybe the favorite amongst other soldiers because you're kind of like the tattletales of the military, police, whatever. But it's like, come on, dude. At least people would be like, yeah, you did serve. For example, Health with HIED says injury earned drinking. And then someone below that says, damn, I thought he was a real one. Shake my head. Someone below that says
IED injury in what was it? Injury endured while drinking. The Glenn Harlow disclosure. I felt for Glenn, man. I mean, he he built his own fucking hell, but I don't know what the fuck he was doing. But I felt for him. Has anybody ever seen him again? I'm sure he showed up somewhere under a different thing, right?
I like this woman. She got balls. I like that.
All right, let's hit the next, the other one I got. This one is from Vahaha. And, don't do that. This is from 23 hours ago. This has 123,000 views. I'll hit a like because we're using it, even though I honestly don't like his stuff anymore. Whatever. But here, let's just watch.
Purple Heart.
That was a guy who lied about being in Afghanistan. He was Army, right? He was Army. And a lot of times, ask Master and Retired. He's got more experience than I do, but even in my less experience, a lot of these guys have been military. It's kind of rare, I feel like, you get, unless they're just like some weirdo, begging for money or something. But like somebody who makes a kind of a thing of themselves, like online, like there was this one guy that was crazy. The guy did have a Purple Heart. He's a fucking weirdo. Master and Retired covered him, did a couple of videos on him, like one in a follow-up or something. And he was a medic. He got the CMB. He got a Purple Heart and a Bronze Star, right? I don't know if he got it with a V or not, but he got a Bronze Star. And then he claimed he started showing up asking for charities to build his house and shit, claiming he was Special Forces, 2 Silver Stars, 3 Bronze Stars. He had a Purple Heart. He was blown up in an IED attack, or at least an IED, explosion or whatever. Fucking crazy.
We won't have to pay for a drink all night.
Oh yeah, perfect.
Tony Gonzalez is an absolute grizzled war hero, combat veteran who was blown up in combat, or at least that's what he's told everybody. But that story actually isn't true. It's not remotely true. Tony got exposed for a disgusting affair that he had with a staffer of his who ended up taking her own life by lighting herself on fire afterwards. But what people don't know about Tony is that he's actually one of the most visceral, stolen valor committing veterans in politics as well. And that's what I'm going to show you.
Okay. I wanted to end with, do this one second, because this one, this one's interesting. It's definitely, well, I'll just.
So, Tony, if you think you were having a bad week already, it's about to get a whole lot worse. So, buckle your seatbelts. I'm going to show you exactly what a piece of shit this guy is. So, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Helps the channel. Let's jump into this thing. Let's talk about it. First thing I want to show you guys is, if you haven't been tracking the actual story of old Tony Gonzalez and the fact that he's a disgusting pervert, we're going to show you that story first.
Okay.
So, you've probably seen this story, but yes, Republican.
Okay, he is a piece of shit Republican congressman who was fucking one of his staff members. He's a douchey dude.
Fire when it didn't work out. And now the vast majority of Congress is actually calling for him to resign completely.
Congressman Tony Gonzalez. I don't like the political stuff. I have zero against him. I don't know Nate. I don't, it's just, the political shit that he gets into, the pivot that he made, it's not as interesting to me. And I think he gets a little wacko with the Kansas shit. I think he gets that way with it. But I mean, I don't know the guy.
I should resign.
First group, though, I will say this though. It was, I feel like he might have deployed around the same time I did. My Afghanistan deployment was 2011, and I worked for the SOTF West, Special Operations Task Force West. And first group was in running, they were in charge of that, but I feel like it was 1-1-1. God damn it, I can't remember. So, I mean, I just, there is a chance maybe we know a couple. I barely remember any of that. outside of the S2 and special activities, they put me, because I was a Marine, had been a Marine and been a recon Marine. I knew a bunch of the MARSOC guys. And so the MARSOC dudes were out there. It was on the VSP, Village Stability Operations. And so they, the SF guys can't cover everything. So they'd send me out with the recon guys. So ironically, I worked for Army Intelligence. Like, that's what I was out there for. Got flown and then worked for SF guys, but then worked with mostly MARSOC guys.
We can't stand for abusing women.
I would love to see every congressman who's ever had to pay a settlement to a staffer. I mean, it's awful. It's awful in any work. I'm
not trying to defend Tony on this. Yeah, of course.
So sorry, it's just the political stuff.
Of course, can't make that up. So again, you can tell very quickly the type of scumbag that this guy is based off of the scumbags we all know that are trying to defend him. But again,
tell you what, it may not mix, but it sure fucking paid. But
that's just the story everybody already knows about. Now, let's talk about another part of Tony's life where he also is a lying piece of shit. What you're going to see, I'm going to show you his own profile, his own descriptions, things he's written on his own pages. Tony Gonzalez is an absolute grizzled war hero, combat veteran who was blown up in combat, or at least that's what he's told everybody. But that story actually isn't true. It's not remotely true because Tony never saw combat at all in his entire military career. Let's take a look through the documents. Let's start with his own congressional bio. That would be pretty important, huh? Over the 20 years of military service, Tony rose to the Navy's highest rank of Master Chief Petty Officer, an accomplishment that less than 1% of enlisted individuals achieve. Very impressive. Very good. He was deployed multiple times in support of combat operations. Interesting. You see how the phrasing here? In support of combat operations. At least they got that right. In Iraq, Operation Iraqi Freedom, in Afghanistan, Operation Enduring Freedom, and regional security operations throughout Asia. Here we go. Now things get a little bit shaky for Tony. While on the...
And so this is where I know I'm stopping. I should just let it play and then we'll talk it. But this is kind of in that realm, right? Where this guy's there's a little bit more gray, except for certain things that he says where you're like, well, that's just not fucking true. I would like these two examples besides just being recent. But and again, I'm not here to fucking police the internet. I'm done with I don't know. It is fun when Stolen Valor doofuses like Ernie come across and we get to laugh at him for a little bit, but I don't specifically seek that shit out. I'll leave that stuff to Mess aren't retired. He's better at it.
Front lines. Okay. Wait till you hear his MOS here in a second. Tony was confronted with some of the most dire situations an individual can save. Ooh, he must have been an infant with some of the minds. Get a Afghanistan, Operation Enduring Freedom, and regional security operations throughout Asia. Here we go. Now things get a little bit shaky for Tony while on the front lines. Okay. Wait till you hear his MOS here in a second. Tony was confronted with some of the most dire situations an individual can save. Ooh, he must have been an infantry platoon sergeant. He must have been maybe in special operations. Maybe he was a Navy SEAL. He was in the Navy. I'm not sure. I mean, he was on the front lines of combat while he was in the Navy. Here's another one regarding January 6th. Representative Tony Gonzalez, a Navy vet, says the insurrection reminded me of my time in combat. It reminded me very much of my time in combat. A retired Master Chief who served both in Iraq and Afghanistan. You either fight or you run.
Right. Then you find out what he did.
Now, it probably did actually remind you of your time in combat, Tony, because you weren't in any actual real danger, because it turns out what was Tony's MOS in the Navy? He was a cryptographical linguist. And if you don't know what that means, let me show you what Tony did in the military.
Again,
Tony actually spent all of his time flying around on one of these. And you may be thinking, well, that just looks like a cargo plane, commercial airliner even. Well, yeah, it's an electronic warfare plane, a SIGINT plane. It doesn't have any munitions. It's not used for close air support or anything other than gathering signal intelligence. So yes, Tony's harrowing claims of being on the front lines of combat and leading men and women in war. Turns out Tony rode around 30,000 fucking feet in the air on a signal aircraft, never in the presence of danger whatsoever. And we can verify that because I can show you his awards. Now,
again, you know, maybe this one isn't quite as cut and dry. It's still misrepresenting what you did. I definitely feel that way. It's definitely misrepresenting what the fuck you did. You know, plenty of SIGINT dudes, by the way, were on the ground. Plenty of SIGINT dudes were on the ground in the shit, in the fucking right there, right? Plenty of dudes, right? But when you're flying a plane and then you talk this way, right? But again, to tie it back into us, I'm not trying to litigate specifically whether he's stolen valor or whatever, but Nate is going out there and saying, hey, he's stolen valor. But Nate's not like couching it. He's not saying in Minecraft. He's not saying allegedly. He's doing a Finkel and he's saying the guy's stolen valor. Now, Nate's done way more research, way more research than the Fink did, than the Finkelstein did. But he's going out there. So my point is, also Finkel called fucking GS stolen valor. He was wrong about the seal. He was wrong about GS. Just saying.
Now here's old Tony in uniform, and unfortunately, there's a few important ribbons missing to Tony's story. What ribbons are those? Well, he's got no Navy Combat Action Ribbon, which is the award you receive if you're ever in direct.
That's the other piece. It feels more Todd than it does Kaiser, right? Like, it just feels more Todd. It's like, okay, were you in Afghanistan? Yeah. Were you on the fucking fob the whole time? Yeah. You know, were you a broke dick? Yep. Are you a counterinsurgency SME? Nope. You basically a ranger? Nope. Did you finish in the mailroom? Yep. You know, it's shit like that. It's way more top. That's why, again, to show you that these guys like to think, they like to blame, you know, me. I get it. I went out there on bacon and I established my position, and I was fucking wrong. And then the problem with doing that is not only just being wrong. I'm fine. I've been wrong before. I'm not stolen valor. I mean, just wrong in life. I ate fucking shit for it and I owned it. But future, any time in the future, if you say anything like, you know, Andrea Sloan, again, the dude claimed to Kaiser and KFAT. He was like, I was wounded in Iraq. Oh, that's interesting. KFAT can't figure out, could not suss out Wrangler. KFAT had no, the only reason KFAT even stopped, and he didn't, after it was proven that Kaiser was stolen valor, he still kept going as long as he could for a bit. He couldn't suss out Kaiser. He can't suss out Andrea's fucking Sloan. He called GT stolen valor, went through GT's fucking resume with Kaiser, called GT a 3-tour combat vet. 13 years in the Army, 3 fucking tours, 2 to Afghanistan, 1 to Iraq, if I'm remembering right. Right, but 3 tours, 3 years in the combat zone, and they're calling them fucking stolen valor. But you know, KFAT hangs out with women, and so, you know, I guess they just want to forget that ever happened.
Contact with the enemy, which he apparently never was, and also a Purple Heart. No Purple Heart, wounded in combat, because let me show you this in a second. But first, I'll show you the awards. As you can see here, missing the Combat Action Ribbon. And you see here, missing the Purple Heart. So, Tony.
Why don't you guys say I look more like, I look like I'm like the combat action ribbon. I look more like the combat, I have that award. I do have that award. I'm going to start be like McDonald's. No, man, this is combat action ribbon jacket. That's what the fuck this jacket is. See, I'm telling you. Thank you, Lola. I agree with me too.
Missing the combat action ribbon. And you see here, missing the Purple Heart. So, Tony, where?
This is, I don't know. This is what's confusing. All I heard him say is it was like you run or you fight. And it was a partial quote. I'm not saying the dude didn't say this shit. I'm not saying the dude didn't stretch things out. I didn't hear anything about being wounded in combat, though.
There are those. The other problem is Tony refuses to give a DD-214 to the media or journalists. Now, it'll get FOIA'd eventually, now that people are going to see this episode. But why would Tony be trying to hide his DD-214? I've shown mine on my own channel a bunch of times. Pretty much any guest that comes on my channel that's a veteran will freely show me their DD-214.
There you go. I wanted to point this out. I am a little confused. I just skimmed through this. I did not watch super closely. Did he? I don't remember. I didn't see Nate show where he said he was wounded in combat, but I don't know. Also, that's a lot to don't have the DD-214 yet. As someone that's got ahead of my skis, I recommend wait till you get the DD-214. But my point is, F3 is not the only ones that ever fucking be like, oh, you're making military claims? You're making wounded in fucking combat claims? Okay. Can you prove that? And what is the easiest, just simplest, should be the quickest? You can redact certain shit very easily, is your DD-214. Because if you spent 1 goddamn second on fucking active duty, and if you deployed, you're on active duty orders, you have a DD-214. We all know that we all have one. That's why we all ask for it. Suddenly, this is what made Todd suspicious. Do you hear all of this? Do you hear what Nate's saying? He's saying, why are you refusing to show your DD-214? That's what we said with Todd. It's the exact same shit. We're like, why are you refusing this? Because when you refuse it, it looks weird. It looks fucking weird.
All a DD-214 is a record of your service. There's absolutely nothing to be worried about. If you've been telling the truth about your service, you could produce that freely. But Tony refuses to let anybody see it. I wonder why. It may be because of this. This was written by Tony himself, as you see, by Congressman Tony Gonzalez. So hard to try to get away from anything that you said in here. As you see here, Tony Gonzalez fights for stronger veterans' mental health care. Great, fantastic. What's the big problem here? Well, when we get into his bio, what does this say right here that Tony wrote himself? While serving, I had a traumatic brain injury and I'm a 100% disabled veteran. I, like millions of Americans in the United States, receive my health care through the VA. Oh, you had a TBI, traumatic brain injury, while serving in combat. I'm not really sure how you did that while you were 30,000 feet up on a signal aircraft. But, I mean, maybe something crazy happened. You fell out of the plane in a parachute. You ended up in some crazy Rambo situation. Maybe. The problem is, if you got hit by an IED and you got a TBI, you'd have a Purple Heart for it. And what were you missing? Oh, that.
Yeah, but he didn't say he got hit by an IED though. He didn't say that. He said he got a TBI. There is a very specific implication with that. There is. Yeah. Also, I don't know that they service connect the TBIs, but I don't think they Purple Heart the TBIs. Same way that like they don't Purple Heart PTSD. I think he's getting ahead of himself. I think he's getting fucking ahead of himself because he just said he had a TBI. I get it. I understand. It does. Hearing that, it doesn't sound suspicious. It just sounds like, oh, okay. Well, then you got blown up. By the way, SIG-Enders got blown up. They are little SIG-End dorks, nerds. Again, nerds are useful. SIG-End guys are extraordinarily useful. The bunch of them got blown up and shit, so it's not like it's unheard of. And then for a bit there, they had specific trucks. I don't think that guy knew what their truck, knew exactly what they're hitting, but figured it was some kind of comm gear shit. So it's totally possible, but that's not what he's saying, though. Oof, he was in Iraq and Afghanistan. Oh, this turned out a little better than I thought, just as an example.
That's right. You don't have a Purple Heart, Tony. You don't have a combat action ribbon or a Purple Heart because you've never seen combat and you've never been injured in combat. Why would you lie about that? Isn't it bizarre that this keeps happening with veterans and veteran politicians? You served 20 honorable years, and rather that just being good enough, what'd you have to do? You had to turn yourself into some fake fucking war hero that you're not. And the reason you did it was to try to make yourself more appealing to the voters. And here's the thing about federal stolen valor crimes. Let's look at the actual definition of federal stolen valor. Here we go. The Stolen Valor Act of 2013 makes it a federal crime to fraudulently claim to have received specific military decorations or medals with the intent to obtain money, property, or other tangible benefits. Violations can result in fines up to 1 year in prison or both. And as you come down here, you'll see some different things like material gain requirement. The false claim must be made with the intent to obtain a tangible benefit, such as money, and what's this? Employment or property. And what did Tony use all these lies about his service to do? To become a congressman, to gain employment. Yes, Tony is obviously guilty of federal stolen valor. And so rather than just being removed from Congress, he should probably be investigated and potentially charged.
Neat. I know he's not going to watch. This is where I was at with Bacon. And the end of the day, was I right about a couple of things? Yeah. You know what I mean? Was he lying about some shit? Sure. Yeah. Definitely. But Nate, I don't know. You're kind of federal stolen valor. I mean, good luck with that.
With stolen valor. And let me show you, we pulled up a bunch more of his claims about his time in combat. So we have all of Tony's combat claims also backed up by sources to exactly where and when he said these things. And so as you see here, Tony repeatedly tells audience.
Actually, I was probably more like, the blind justice for sure. I was like, yeah. I mean, the irony is when Todd says shit like Todd and K-Fat and those guys, they get, oh, he's trying to catch lightning in a bottle after Kaiser. No, the scramble for me was after Bacon. Like, my credibility was shit. My life was shit. Like, a lot of things were shit. And I was like, blind justice there's no way. I've worked with SF guys in an SF unit as a humaniter. I was not the fucking Green Beret at all. I was like, this dude is, and then wrong. I was wrong. Again, in my defense, so was 99% of the internet, because he purposely wanted people to be wrong. And, it's a good trap. And he got it.
He fought in 2 wars and led men and women in combat. Here's what he actually says in Congress and on TV. Claim 1, pattern of saying, I fought in 2 wars. I fought in Iraq and Afghanistan. He said specifically, I fought in 2 wars. I know what war looks like. I know what war smells like. I know what war feels like. Then he also said, Americans, including myself, have fought and many have died in Afghanistan. And as we know now, with no combat action ribbon, no, Tony Gonzalez never fought in any war. That's not to say that's a requirement for respectable service. Not at all. Tony's job is actually extremely important. However, he's not a combat veteran. He's not someone that saw actual kinetic gunfights. He's not someone that saw actual kinetic warfare. It's just completely made up. And again, he's using this to try to portray himself as some war hero that he just very clearly isn't. He says, again, I fought in Iraq and Afghanistan, and I can tell you that when America hesitates, when we send mixed signals, people die.
I like
He says,
this
again,
woman.
I spent
She
20
got
years in the
balls.
military.
I like that.
I fought in 2 wars. I fought to give people the freedom to protest whatever the hell they want to. See this theatrical pandering bullshit? Tony was
Again, this isn't from. I'm not doing this to litigate this guy's stolen valor or not. My point was, and also, how does all this sound? It sounds exactly like the same shit. It's so funny. The internet's just the same. Just some people have bigger audiences, and they're better at it, I guess.
was never in combat. He was never in harm's way. The biggest risk he was going to take was somehow if there was some malfunction on the aircraft and the aircraft crashed. Just the same as if you were on a civilian airliner and that plane crashed. That unfortunately doesn't make you some war hero. And as you see here, it says rather than simply noting that he deployed in support of operations, which is what he did, Gonzalez repeatedly uses the verb fought and presents himself as a 2-war combat veteran. And sources down here, as you can see, we can pull these all up and actually go look at directly the actual quotes. Here you go. Thank you, Chairman. I'm a retired Navy Master Chief. I spent 20 years.
But again, before he gets into this, I kind of think Nate's. I don't know about this, but I mean, it's worth pointing out. But federal stolen valor charges, like, come on. But also, what I was going to say is, you can see that we're not psychos, man. The activity of being in combat is unique. And then to have that experience, and even when somebody tells story, like I couldn't watch the Generation Kill shit because until my dad asked me to watch it with him, right? Because I was like, these aren't my story. I remember things differently. Not in a, like that it was wrong or overarching, but I just was seeing things through my little fucking straw, and my memories of some things were different. And so I didn't want to, I didn't even want to watch it because I wanted to be protective of my memories of that shit. But we get protective of that experience. And then, I mean, one of the things I said with like Blue Bacon ran to Bacon and K-Fat were fucking buddies too. Not gonna believe that. K-Fat and one of the things that pissed me off with those two was how dismissive, not just dismissive, not that not thank me for my service, but just being like, they treated their service like, well, it was the dipshits that did the combat. We didn't do. Bacon never deployed to that shit, and he was proud of it. He was proud of fucking not deploying to Iraq or Afghanistan. Same with K-Fat. Until K-Fat wants to claim that he was in the land of Durka, which on the ship in the Strait of Hormuz or whatever, right? But when they want to couch their shit for credibility in our experiences, it rubs dudes the wrong motherfucking way. That's where all this shit comes from. That's where all of this fucking shit comes from, man. It's not saying I'm better. If your service wasn't my service, it can come across this way sometimes, which I try and watch it, but I know it can. If you didn't do what I do, your service wasn't good enough. It's not that. It's being protective of the singular experience that being in direct fucking combat is. Right? That's it. End of soapbox.
Years in the military. I spent 5 years in Iraq and Afghanistan. I fought in 2 wars. I know what war looks like. I know what war smells like. Here's the thing, Tony. No, you don't. You're a liar. But that's not all. Let's look at some actual tweets right from his own account. It says, school was my sanctuary from the chaos at home. Now I am 41, all grown up, loving father of 6 children. Yikes about that. Served our country in the Navy for 20 years. Led men and women in combat in Afghanistan and Iraq. I slept.
Okay, that's not good. I don't think that's a fair fucking statement. I don't think that's stolen valor. But I mean, to say that, and but you're a fucking SIG-enter. Yeah, 6 kids, and his mistress set herself on fire. I'm a witness to that. I never claimed to be a combat vet, and you never judged me for being a pogue. No, I don't. It's fun to make fun of shit. I don't know, and there's always, whatever. But it's when. Yeah, it's tough because you want to be protective of it. I've been overprotective of it on here. You want to be protective of it. You want to have that and whatever, but you also can't come across as a psycho, which I have at times in the past. It's definitely Toddism. And this is where it gets like, I have led men and women in combat. Okay. Okay. The most dangerous time for them is the landing and takeoff. It's like Nate said, it's an unbelievable. By the way, a lot of hits aren't going down unless those birds get 2 fucking hits. Those birds are a fucking key factor in Afghanistan anyway. They were a key factor in hits. They were those birds were important, but it is, it's not leading men and women in combat.
Play wolves every day. Sick, bro. Again, you rode around on a SIG plane, man. What are we doing here? And again, the reality, the truth, here's what he actually did. Tony was a cryptologic technician who sat in an aircraft at 30,000.
God damn it. Oh, did it come back? Oh, hell yeah. Okay, perfect. 3:30. Yeah. Well, definitely. And technically, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. I don't know. I mean,
feet collecting signals, intelligence, not boots on the ground, door kicking, or fighting in combat, as his rhetoric implies. And as you see here, his actual Navy classification.
Oh, damn. Okay. What you're hearing now from her, now she's pouting. Now it's angry. That's an angry snore. She's like, I want you to be done. Don't worry, Stowe. We are going to be done here. We got Blues hockey.
Information warfare sailor.
If you love snoring pups, Kittle, you would adore the shit out of Stella. I think that's the cutest thing. And she knows too. And because she sleeps in the bedroom not in the bed, but on her dog bed or whatever. But I just yell, Stella.
Rating cryptological technician. Huh. But what do veterans have to say about Tony's service? Yeah, he's never fired a shot. Well, of course he's never fired a shot because he's never been in combat. That's why he doesn't have a combat action ribbon. Duh. Tony never fired a shot in anger and was never in battle. The Navy invested too much money and time training information warfare sailors to put them in harm's way. Yeah, duh. No offensive capability. The aircraft had no offensive capabilities other than small arms on board. There was no way to use them in flight. Again, this isn't some close air support AC-130 gunship. This is an electronic warfare signal gathering plane that, again, hovers at 30,000 feet. And the purpose of these things is to do things like shut down signal, but also listen into like what the enemy's talking about on radio systems or walk.
Yeah, I was about to say, thank God you edited that. What the fuck? don't put SIG shit out on the fucking internet. I mean, it's out there, but don't be the dude that does it. SIG people get nuts. Don't ever talk tech.
Talkies or pinpoint phones, all sorts of different stuff. But none of that is combat related. It says here, the only time he actually spent time on the ground was if the aircraft broke down and needed repairs. And then one more time, as you can see here, the full rack missing the combat action ribbon and purple hearts. Yikes. And again, there's nothing wrong with the job that Tony actually did in the military. It's very, very important. Very important to support guys like me, Green Berets on the ground. We had those type of aircraft above us assisting us. Very beneficial asset to have. The problem is that that's not what Tony's portrayed himself as to be elected. He's portrayed himself as this fucking war hero that's been leading men and women in combat and all his time on the ground. I can still smell war. That's like, bro, you never saw the front lines. You were never in combat. You never fired a shot. You've never been shot at. This is all stolen valor. This is making up war stories, making up things you did to try to.
Is it? as a dude who got way out over his fucking skis, as a dude who has been in the position not remotely with the fucking with the bandwidth that fucking Nate has. I mean, this video is at 200,000 in 24 hours. It's embellished, but is he really saying all of that? Is he really saying all that? I don't feel like he is. And he was there.
Get elected for a congressional seat. It's infinitely worse than the guy at Applebee's who's telling silly war stories about Vietnam, or the homeless guy.
But it's like Todd and his embellishments. Again, to go back, to tie it into art, and to show that the internet is the same in every little fucking corner. Just some people have bigger shows. Is it stolen valor? Absolutely not. Nate's this is not stolen valor in my mind, in my opinion, but it's embellishment, and it's talking a kill game. You're talking a certain fucking game, and in a certain way with the purpose, and that purpose is to be misleading. It definitely is. I don't think it's stolen valor, but it's the same kind of shit. Basically, basically a ranger is not saying I was leading troops in combat. That's not saying that, but the embellishments matter. They do matter. I'm not saying telling a fucking story in a bar, whatever. You're don't tell Blackwater dudes they're bullshit, but I'm not saying it's like that. Like, come on, whatever. It's not that. They're purposeful embellishments. Saying you are a combat disabled vet matters, because that means a specific thing, and you're being no cast on station is that is a great one. There was no cast for medevac. He meant medevac. He meant dust off or whatever. He meant a fucking medevac bird. There's no cast. He was on a training lane.
On the street in an Army PT shirt. This guy misrepresented himself so that he could get a position of power in politics and Congress, and he's voting on policy that affects all of us. And we shouldn't be surprised to see that this is the type of guy that would lie and commit stolen valor based off of what a fucking scumbag and his lack of any real morality when we look at what he's been doing while he's in Congress, aka having affairs with young staffers. Well, again, he's a married man with 6 children. So here's what I would say. If he's not going to resign, obviously you need to vote for Brandon Herrera if you're in that district. It's an easy choice. Also, Brandon's a great candidate. Brandon's not taking money from foreign lobbies, but what is going to happen now, and you're already seeing it with people like Mike Johnson and all the Zionists, AIPAC, I'm sure, is going to come to Tony's aid and it's going to try to drop $10 million.
It's heavier. I use olive oil for everything mostly, but truthfully with chicken, I like the olive oil in there a little heavier, but I do like get the crisp of the vegetable oil
towards the end of the race so that they can try to force Brandon out and they can keep creepy little pervert Tony in because he's going to vote like a neocon in behalf of our greatest ally. We all know.
I mean, by the way, I don't know. Trump is doing neocon shit right now. Yeah, it's essentially that too. But beyond, it's impossible not to factor that in, right? But my point is really just more the mechanics of what, not even the stolen valor or not stolen valor guys. I mean, that first guy is pretty. I mean, he said he got wounded in got face blown up in Afghanistan, and he never even went there. This other guy is more of an embellishment guy, more like, there was no shit, knee deep in fucking hand grenade pins and whatever, like that kind of shit. But more of the mechanic. I was more interested in the mechanics of the Nikki guy and Vahal and Nate and what they're doing and how they're going about this, requesting DD-214s. also being suspicious when other vets refuse to show a DD-214. That definitely makes vets suspicious. When you refuse to show that shit, it's like very sus. Oh, sorry. It's very sus. Where if you listen to the guys who don't want to show it for whatever reason, they're like, oh, they go around demanding DD-214s of everybody. It's like, no, you go around making fucking claims. And just like the politician dude, I forget his name, and the weightlifting dude, people were like, hey, you're making fucking claims, man. You need to back that shit up. Back that shit up. Back that ass up. All right, cool. Yeah, Ernie. Ernie's another prime example. Ernie, Andrea Sloan refused. He sent Master retired can answer for this, but he sent Top fucking bullshit. I haven't seen it, but I trust what Top said about it. I didn't look at it because he asked Top not to share it, and he's, like I said before and said always, he's not going to fucking risk his integrity to dock somebody for me. No, not at all. So he didn't show it, but I trust him. He's like, it doesn't show shit, man. Why not just send a DD-214? You claim you're wounded in Iraq. That should be a pretty fucking easy day. All right. Anyway, that's really more the point. What do we got here? You know what? Let's do end on one thing here. Just because I like it.
On your knees in front of JJ, and Todd Bryant is that guy. You are on your knees in front of JJ, and last but not least, you have no power over me.
These people cope in strange ways. Yeah.
I want to be clear, and I want Todd Bryant to record this, what I'm about to say. In fact, the whole world can record this.
I'm gonna go
Todd Bryant, you never served the United States of America. You, sir, rose your right hand, put on the uniform so that the Army can serve you. You're one of those sorry piece of shit motherfuckers who enlisted because it was the only living you could make. And then the entire time you were in, you hid and did as little as you fucking possible because you wanted your country to serve you. Unfortunately, we had those, and you were one of them. I'm sorry, Nikki, you can have the stage back now.
But okay, so to kind of finish, because I think I got aside and I went off on a tangent. The question was basically what was the beef between Jeff and I? Where did that start? Coming after my service, my military service, labeling me as stolen valor, me saying that I'm a retired disabled combat vet really triggered these people.
Again, I know I can say it every time, and I'm not going to keep stopping it every single time here, but no, he said he was a combat disabled vet. He very specifically said wounded.
Because I was not injured in combat, but I was injured in a way that I was hazardous duty pay in the process of as a paratrooper, not a parachutist. Parachutist is a 5-jump chump. They don't have a follow-on mission, not training to do as a paratrooper, right? So if you're on active duty or if you're on active jump status, you're a paratrooper. If you go to a unit where you're kind of, even though you have your wings, you're not on active jump status because they don't have that apparatus and that's not part of your mission, then you basically, you're not really a paratrooper anymore, if that makes any sense.
I'm not attacking his service.
I'm not attacking his service either. I'm attacking his non-service. My apologies to the rest of that panel. My opinion is my own, and my opinion is based in the fact that Todd Bryant told us on more than one of his live streams, he told us that his father-in-law figured out that he was a piece of shit as his father-in-law's daughter was supporting him while he couldn't get a fucking job. You know, no job having motherfucker. You were embarrassed, you were butthurt, so you went back to the MEP station and you got a job. You didn't serve. you got a job, and you did your job very poorly. You talked about zebras. That's bullshit. There is no such thing as zebras. That's not in the vocabulary of the United States Army.
Right. Yeah.
So I got hurt in during a jump, the landing of a jump from a Black Hawk, not a black cock, a Black Hawk. So them taking issue with me calling myself a retired disabled combat vet really triggered them. And I remember the stream where Jeff was going to get to the bottom of the Scooby-Doo mystery.
Yeah.
And he actually, basically, he snitched on himself as being a fucking retard who claims to know everything there is to know about regs and army and all this other shit and a great leader of men.
What you did was ride the bus. Similar idea. You were there just to get a paycheck. You were there just to show your father-in-law that you could wear a uniform, but you could barely keep that uniform on because you're a pussy ass, cheap, lazy, useless motherfucker.
They told me I was considered a disabled combat vet because of that was considered a combat injury. And I'm like, what do you mean? I wasn't hurt in combat. They're like, no, because your injury was sustained during airborne operations. If I got hurt by the bus crashing on the way there, it wouldn't have counted, or on the way back, it wouldn't have counted. But because I was in the plane, jumping out of the plane, doing anyway, long story short, they were shitting on my military record. They were saying I wasn't what I said I was. All kinds of so that's where it all came from.
Dude, I'm loving it.
I didn't know shit about any of these people.
Todd Bryant, Finkel is calling you out. You're a pussy. You're useless, and you've never worked a day in your life. You were one of those guys that when they put you on detail, you hit on the detail, knowing that the other details would get finished first.
I never doubted that you were a veteran of the United States Army. I never doubted that you were retired. I never doubted that you were medically disabled. I never doubted that you were a combat veteran.
What are you going to do?
The grammar Gestapo got all wrapped around the axle about which order you described that: combat, wounded combat veteran, combat wounded veteran. I'm like,
I never said wounded.
Yeah, right.
I said disabled combat veteran.
That's right. But whatever, you are disabled, you are retired, you are a veteran, you were in a combat theater. What does it matter what grammatical order you put those titles in? And they're getting all wrapped around the axle about that.
But the bus riding, the skating, that was you pussy. You sit there behind your microphone, you talk shit about everybody who crosses anyway your agenda. You're a pussy. You sit in the basement and you talk. Get out there and do something. I don't mean go to a courthouse and ask permission to stalk somebody. I mean actually get out and do something.
I'm trying to give you guys a place to come.
Earn something. Be of service to your fellow man. And no, claiming you help other YouTube channels, that's not helping anybody. That is you trying to take credit for other people's work. You didn't build anybody up. And by the way, nobody's tearing you down. Right now, as I call you a pussy who made your country serve you, I'm not tearing you down. I'm telling you facts. It in no way, shape, or form hurts you in any way. Your feelings are hurt. Your fifis are hurt. But that barely earned retirement check is still coming in. I have no power over you except for the power you give me. And you give me the power to call you a pussy, and you're pretty pissed off about that. You give me the power to call you a bus rider, someone who had the country serve him. That is what you are. You give me the power. You have no power. You talk about, well, I didn't knock Kaiser down while he was already down. You have no power over Kaiser. You have no power over F3. You have no power over for public safety. You are on your knees in front of JJ. And last but not least, you have no power over me.
Combat disabled combat. All of a sudden that became a moot point because indeed, whichever way you put it, you fit the regulation. So yeah, fuck off, Jeff.
I never pretended to be anything that I wasn't. Go ahead, sir.
Jeff, you would be a little bit more of a man than I see you as if you would just admit that you made that mistake.
You're a pussy. I'm a man. You're a pussy. Get it? Man, pussy. Meow. You're kitty, 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 kitty. Goodbye, pussy.
I want you to take the Frankenstein shit, the deer shit, the green monster, the bling, and the bling bling. And I want you to roll it all into one joint.
Which kills.
We're
I'm good.
racist.
No one's ever been brave enough to try that.
One man is. Roll it.
Not feeling super confident about this plan.
We're racist.
I'll smoke it with you, bro. We'll go to the loony bin together. I don't give a fuck.